I'm
Karabo.
right? Oh, why did I write Kabelo?
Listen, you can't
Okay,
be changing my name now. I'm not changing nothing on my ID. I'm sticking to
okay,
Karabo.
okay. Sorry guys about that. Ki Karabo, ne Karabo Matlala by the name of AKA KB Snapshots. So that tells you everything about her, ne? And then we want to ask. So Karabo this other time told me Khoriena, she lives in Bronkhorstspruit, in the middle of nowhere, as she mentioned. So I want to ask her, where did you get a camera in the middle of nowhere? I believe maybe the only option you had was water in the middle of the desert. How did you get it?
So, um, how I ended up getting a camera is because of my dad. He is an avid nature, bird life, wildlife photographer. That's what he loves to do. So,
Wow.
before even anything, I got to Bronkhorstspruit because of him. So we got here
Okay.
at a very, very young age when we moved from Soshanguve, which is where I was originally born. And
Wow.
so at a very young age, I think when I was about 5 years old, because of my dad's work, me and the family came to Bronkhorstspruit, and I've been stuck here since. um, which is like a blessing and a curse at the same time. But other than that, my dad has always been like an avid photographer, and sometimes as children we want to do what our parents do, and I became very interested in photography. When I was studying, I studied fashion design, but in the final year they introduced fashion photography just as a little course for the end of for our third year, and I took that course. But after finishing that course, I was more passionate about the wildlife, nature type of photography. And I was fortunate enough to have someone in the house who was also a fan of that. So where my dad goes, I would go with him, go to our nature reserves, things like that. And if he upgraded into a better camera, I'd get his previous camera. And that's
so you
how
didn't
I
have to spend anything.
at first. we talking 10-11 years ago, but now you have to do some kind of work. So as much as wildlife is my passion, when it comes to working, I do event photography. That's what pays the bills. So with the capital that I got from event photography, that is what helped me to buy my equipment, which I have now.
And it doesn't come cheap, eh?
Oh my goodness, not at all. Equipment is very expensive. It really is quite expensive, especially when you want, the best of the best. So that's how I got my equipment.
And where, like you came from Soshanguve and then you went to Bronkhorstspruit. So it tells me that, this camera thing, it's been something in Nzuijara all along, And now from my side, I wanted to know, where has this camera taken you? You spoke about events, events for photography and so forth. Where has this really taken you? Like, which places has it exposed you to?
So, especially with events, I started off by, just taking a few events for friends, family, and, in my first year, I did my first wedding, which was so challenging. But then I was fortunate enough that at one of my friends' events, I met someone, networking. basically.
Yeah.
I met someone who was interested in me photographing other work, and it just went from there. And I have, yeah, I've been able to photograph so many different types of events. I can tell you, I've done Joy of Jazz, which was very interesting. I did Miss SA 2019, which was an
What?
experience of its own.
Were you sleeping on the stage, or how was like the setting? Did you just jump on the stage, or
Look, there's rules. There's rules. I can't just be all over the place. But look, it was just 2 days of just running around, capturing as much as you could capture, sending images immediately. So that was an experience on its own. And then apart from things like that, then my corporate events, I've done quite a lot of corporate events. For so many different types of people. I cannot believe how many people I've met because of events photography. So yeah, it's been very interesting.
It really opens up a door of endless opportunities, eh?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And then I'm really interested in this part, the nature, wildlife,
Yes.
Because to me, you really sound like a very, very brave black woman. Not every single black person that I know would say that Yazin, I want to go to Ilwane Zinkichimis or something like that, and I want to have the best shot of them.
Yeah.
We normally see these things at the zoo, and the teacher's the one taking the picture, and then they send it to our parents. And to me, I was like, no man, this girl's passion, it really took her far. Now I believe that this passion of yours entails a lot of hard work, and sometimes you find yourself hanging in between the electric fence, and you want the best shot, no matter Guti's or choker or any, but you want the best shot. How did you develop an interest for wildlife?
I've always been a fan of nature. And when I started, like I said, because I used to go with my dad for these trips that we did, these nature trips, and he was more interested in bird photography, but I was more interested in landscape photography.
Okay.
And
there's a difference.
Yes. So from there, it was landscapes here and there, and then I started to become more interested in, the birds, and then the animals, and then from there I just loved wildlife and nature. And yeah, the rest is history. Basically, I just fell in love with wildlife and nature. So there's just something about being able to capture those moments, because it's not like going to the zoo and the animal is there and you take the picture. You need to be so dedicated. You can go to a nature reserve for 7 days straight and see absolutely nothing.
Wow. Like camping 7 days and nothing.
And see nothing. It's happened. I have gone to a nature reserve where I'm in there 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, and I've seen maybe one animal, and that's it, driving around.
And have you asked for a refund, because I would feel like I've been ripped off.
There is no refund, because remember, these animals have a mind of their own.
Yeah.
There's only a certain space where you are allowed to drive, and it's up to that animal if it's going to be close to the road or not. And that's why you have to keep your eyes open. So it's like days of searching, and some days you are really lucky, and they just happen to be all over, and you just see animal left, right, and center. And then there's just those other days that there's just nothing.
Is it on the day where you about to leave, or which day is it?
You never know. I mean, there's a time when I went to like Bafuri at the Kruger National Park, and day one when we got into the Kruger, we saw elephants, we saw buffaloes, all kinds of buck, birds. It was a packed day. The hours went by so quickly because of all the things we saw. The second day, it was quiet. Same road, and there was.
But you got the pictures of the first day, right? You got
the pictures of the first day. But if someone came in the second day, they would think that we were lying, that we saw anything, because it was so quiet. Those animals had just disappeared. So it's also, it's also luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're lucky and you just see all these animals, and then other days that luck is not there. That's why you have to be patient. It's dry. So you have to have patience, and even though you have to constantly keep going back, because every day is different. You never know what you're gonna see. Yeah. I
love the part of being patient and going back each and every single day until you get it right. Hey?
Yeah.
And then okay. And then what, I was thinking to myself that maybe there's a song that somebody develops to call these animals out, and in my mind I'm thinking of this song that that comes to mind. But before that, I just wanted to know what makes you sing how actually this Zulu, yeah, akuna matata, yeah, I think I said it right. And what makes you keep on capturing those precious moments?
It's whatever you do, if you are passionate about it, nothing will stop you from doing it. If I wasn't passionate about wildlife photography, I wouldn't be doing it now, because what people see the finished product.
True.
They don't see what goes behind getting those images. It's not all luxurious. That people, it's not all fun and games all the time. There are days when it's like extremely cold, or you're extremely tired, or you don't feel good, but you still go out and look for these things because you are passionate about it. That's why if you do something that you love, you'll put your heart and soul in it. So I love a wildlife photography. I'm passionate about it. That is why I will wake up early in the morning and stay there until late in the afternoon for 4, 5, 6 days in a row, trying to capture these animals.
And umpago ukhona for those days, or it's just the passion that keeps you going.
No, it's kaftin. You make your little skaftinyana, put it in the car. Your little lunch breaks, you eating while you're looking. Earlier back then, we used to stop, and have a little break, and grab a bite to eat and then carry on. But I don't know what is happening with me now, because there's just no stopping. It's rather I eat in the car and look around.
Yeah,
I don't want to miss a moment.
Wow.
So
he doesn't want to miss a moment. I really love this. And Karabo, you know what, I also don't want anybody out there maybe listening not to miss any moment of the work that you have gathered and the work that you have put together. What type of photography do you specialize in? Like, please name them all so that our listeners may know.
So there's events and corporate photography, studio photography. Then I've got my wildlife, nature and landscape photography. And something else that I'm also very interested in is macro photography.
Macro?
Yes.
Explain the macro one. It's the first time I've heard it.
Macro photography, you take the smallest of the smallest detailed type of image. It's like flowers, taking details of flowers or insects or very, very small details. That's macro photography.
Okay.
So that's something I also really find interesting. And then
The
also
smaller
there's,
details. I love it.
yes, small details. And then I also do portraits.
Okay. Okay. And where can people find you, Karabo?
I am fine as social media or
Oh
just
yeah. You're on social media handles. I don't want them knocking at your door.
on social media. You can find me on Instagram as KB Snapshots. You can also find my Instagram handle for KK Photography _SA, and that's more of my event work.
Okay.
And you can also find me on Facebook as Karabo Matlala.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're really present. You're really present. Hey.
Thank you.
Okay. And then for my last words, I would love to also hear maybe from you. I would love to share these words with you that says the impossible takes a little longer. And from your side, and anybody that might be out there saying that, I didn't like about Karabo, I really want to explore the life maybe that she has explored in my own kind of way. What words would you give to them?
What I'd say is just start. It doesn't matter where you are or what you just start, because starting is what's going to lead you to where you want to go. If you never start, you're never going to get to that place, so that would be the advice that I give. Even if you don't know what you're doing right now, just start somewhere, do something. Don't be too much of a critique to yourself, and then as you go, you will see the growth.
Wow. Thank you so much, Karabo. I really, really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope that to you who's listening to the PhilsDrive, where we uncover the life stories beyond the successes and challenges to bring the importance of people worldwide. We hope that you heard Karabo, and you know what? If you know that you have that amazing event coming up, please don't hesitate and make your bookings on time, because you might not know, maybe Karabo's prices went down. And you know what, you'll enjoy each and every single moment of her. She's flexy. You can hear that she's been running around where there's events. She really runs around. When it's in the nature, she stays until the lion comes out and sings kumbaya. And that is Karabo for you. Karabo, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Okay, guys, remember to follow us on all social media pages, at YouTube and Instagram at PhilsDrive _ and on Facebook and TikTok at PhilsDrive. And our podcast, you'll find it at Podbean at PhilsDrive. Enjoy and know that you must follow the voice wherever you go. Don't forget to take that snapshot with Karabo Matlala. Thank you, Karabo.
Thank you.